Hello family and friends, it's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner, and today I'm in Monroe City, Missouri at my apartment. Today it is January the 31st and I'm going to do another DITL, Day in the Life. And today I'm going to do it for my afternoon life. Yesterday I did a DITL and I started recording early morning, me getting ready, and then I made it all the way to lunch. And by the time I got to lunch, I went, I have so much footage, I think I'm going to stop now. So I only showed you part of my day. Plus I had run out of battery power, so right as I was finishing, my camera clicked off. So I had to wait for it to recharge anyway. But anyway, what I'm going to do today on January the 31st, the next day, is I'm going to pick up my activities from lunch and go forward. And yes, I do have on the same clothes that I had on yesterday, because especially during the winter when I'm here at my apartment, I don't get that dirty. And so I will wear an outfit for like 2 days and then change on the third day, because they just don't get that dirty, and it saves on laundry and it saves on the wear and tear of your clothes. So, and this is, this is kind of a continuation of my day, so now I look the same too. Anyway, I digress there a little bit. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go fix me some lunch, and then we'll go on. So I'm going to have eggs for lunch, so let me get those out, and then I'll bring you in closer. Oh, and by the way, I have all of this is art materials that I'm going to be using this afternoon, and I will talk to you about them as we get to them. Alright, let's get you guys in for a closer look. Get some light on it over here. There we go. Okay, and so today I'm going to have scrambled eggs, because yesterday I had an egg sandwich and I used up all my bread. So I explained to you guys yesterday that I have a protein shake and crackers for breakfast, and then I will have eggs either for lunch or supper. Whereas out at the homestead, I have eggs for breakfast, and then I have a protein shake either for lunch or supper. It's reversed out there, and that's because John does the cooking and I like his eggs for breakfast. But anyway, so we're in town now. It's lunch, and we're going to have eggs. And today I'm going to have scrambled eggs, because yesterday I had an egg sandwich and I used up all my bread. When I do scrambled eggs, I always do 2. And when I do scrambled eggs, I usually add milk, but I do not have any milk. So we're just going to have plain old scrambled eggs. Okay, so when I do scrambled eggs, I usually add milk, but I don't have any milk. So I'm just doing plain eggs today. My best friend, Rusty Adam, when she would do scrambled eggs, she would take saltine crackers and crumble them up real fine into her eggs. And I asked her one time, I said, why do you do that? I mean, they tasted good. They were really pretty good. But I asked her, I said, why do you do that? And she said, well, That's from the Depression era. Saltine crackers were really cheap, and so it was a way to make your eggs stretch further. And, you know, she raised 5 kids, and I guess she was wanting to make those eggs stretch. So she would crumble up saltine crackers, and it would really make a flavorful addition to the eggs. But anyway, so that's her reasoning. All right, and I use butter for my scrambled eggs. And like I told you guys, I don't like to do dishes, so I always rinse everything. And then I always spray everything. That way I only have to do dishes like once a week. All right. I like Gold Peak tea. No, they do not sponsor me, but I really like Gold Peak tea. I'm not a big enough YouTuber to be sponsored by anyone, and that's okay. I don't know that I would want to be sponsored. I just do these videos for fun. Gives me something to do. So this morning, before I clicked you guys on, I did watch my YouTube like I always do, and I did continue to work on my Gettysburg video, and it should be going up today sometime. Or if I can get it to go. That might be something I have to wait and do at John's because my internet is so slow. But I have it ready to upload. Now I just have to decide where I'm going to upload it. I might try it here overnight, see if it'll load overnight. I have tried loading things overnight here, and a lot of times they'll go, but then sometimes I will get a message in the morning that says error uploading. So I don't know, my internet's just very slow here. I can't afford the high-speed internet like John has. But at least I have access to high-speed internet. All right, and I like my eggs what's called soft scramble, and so that's what these are. And I use paper plates. And then before I take my eggs out, I like a little bit of cheese melted on top of mine. So I'll just tear the cheese into strips so they melt faster. Then I turn the burner off and pop a lid on there, and I let that set for just 2 minutes just to let the cheese melt. And I put away the stuff all that's going on. Okay. I also like ketchup on my scrambled eggs. Anybody else out there put any condiments on their eggs? My dad used to put mustard. My dad used to put mustard on his. There we go. See? Perfectly scrambled. Can you see that? Perfectly scrambled with the cheese melted on top. I'm going to rinse this and spray it. right, when I eat, all right, whenever I eat, I like to sit in my recliner and watch a little bit of TV. Okay, so now I'm going to eat my lunch and watch some TV. I think I've told you guys before that I do not like sitting at a table by myself. So whenever I eat in my recliner watching TV. And up here at the apartment, I've been watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I am a big Trekkie. I have been a Trekkie ever since I was a little kid. I'd have to go back and look to see when the original Star Trek first came out, but I'm pretty sure that I saw those shows as they came out new, because I remember that they came out on Saturday nights and I would have to beg my mom to stay up and watch them, because I think they were like 10:30 to 11:30. I think they came on after the news, and of course I had bedtime, but she would let me stay up and watch Star Trek. So I saw all of the originals, and it was only 3 seasons. Can you believe that? The original Star Trek is only 3 seasons, but boy, what all the spin-offs. But I used to watch the original seasons where William Shatner was Captain Kirk and Leonard Nimoy was Spock. And then I've seen all of the movies from the very first movie all the way up to, I think they did Star Trek movies 1 through 7 or 6 or 7. And then they kind of went away with movies for a little while and went back into series. And so I watched The Next Generation, and I watched Deep Space Nine, and I watched the one with the female captain. I'm trying to think, was that called Enterprise, or was that one Discovery? Well, Discovery's like one of the newer ones, and this was an older one. But anyway, I saw the one that had the first female captain, and then the one that has Scott Bakula as the captain. I think that one was called Enterprise. So I've seen all of the spin-offs. Now that it's winter, I have started watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds again. And I watch like 2 episodes every time I eat. And I'm on season 2 right now. So anyway, I'm a huge Trekkie, and I'm going to sit here and have my scrambled eggs and watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And I have not learned all of the characters are the actors who play the characters. Like I know who Captain Pike is. I mean, I know him back from the original storyline, and he's an excellent actor. And then they have Spock and Uhura, and you know, number 1. This number 1 is a female. So anyway, I'm learning the main actors that play these characters. But I really like this series because it's a great ensemble. You know, you learn about each character. Usually each story will focus on a different character. So like today the story might be about Spock, and then tomorrow the story will be about number 1. I can't think of what her name is. And then and then of course you'll have stories about Pike. But it's just really a neat show. So I'm sure I've told you way more about Star Trek than you probably want to know, but this is part of my day in the life, is watching my Star Trek. Alright, so I'm going to eat my lunch, watch my Star Trek, and I'll be back. Okay, so as I sit here eating lunch and watching TV, I can also look out my window at the birds. All right, Pretty cool. Back to lunch. Okay, family and friends. Okay, family and friends, well, I've had my lunch and I watched some Star Trek, and it's now 2 o'clock, so I'm going to move on to another afternoon project. And I'm going to be doing some art today, some painting. But I only have about an hour, hour and a half, because the grandkids are coming over after school today, and I'm going to be babysitting them for about 3 hours so that Mom can go to Hannibal. And so I will have grandkids this afternoon here at the apartment. I don't mind watching the grandkids here at the apartment if it's not going to be longer than 2 or 3 hours at the max. But we're in kind of a tight space up here, so they don't have quite as much area to play in. And yeah, so if I'm going to be watching them over 3 hours, then I will go out to the homestead. But she told me that tonight would be just a real quick trip. So I'm going to be babysitting this afternoon. But before they get here, I want to get some art done. I like to paint. So this is the last project, the last painting I attempted. I am not the greatest painter, okay? I only had one paint class, and that was like way back when I was in college in like the early 1980s. And but I enjoyed doing it. Anyway, my brother had taken this picture of this church, and I just thought it was a really cool picture, and so I decided that I wanted to replicate it. Now, I did take out a couple of things off the picture, like this one has a garage built next to the church, and I didn't want that in my painting, so I did remove that and just kind of imagined what it might look like without that structure. But this is like the best I've gotten done, and I wish it looked more realistic. It looks like a beginner's painting. And I wish I was a little bit better so it would look more realistic. But quite frankly, right now I'm kind of tired of working on this particular painting. So I'm going to go ahead and put it aside and probably call it done. If I ever attempt it again, I will start fresh. And that's okay. You know, a lot of times writers will have to do a rough draft before they get their finished product. But and that might be what I have to do for this, is just to say, okay, well, this was my rough draft, and try again later. But I want to try something new on my next painting. So I'm going to put these aside and show you what I'm going to be doing next. So I want to paint some irises, which are similar to the ones that we have out at the farm. They're the yellow and red. And I do have pictures on the computer that I looked at to do this sketch. And I decided I wanted to practice sketching the flowers first to kind of get in my head, you know, the flow of them, and then before I actually started the painting. So this is the sketch I'll be referring to. And then before you start any kind of a painting on canvas, you have to prep your canvases. And you usually do that with like just a solid color paint. And I have to see, I think I'm going to be prepping these with white, because I think that's the one that I have the most color of. If not, I might prep with a gray. But you always want to pre-prep your canvases before you just start painting. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm probably going to prep at least 3 of these to kind of have them ready. Because it does take like a couple of, you have to prep it, and then you have to wait a day, and then you prep it again. And so it takes a couple of days before you can actually start the painting. So by having some of these pre-prepped, then I can start painting whenever I wish. So that's what I'm going to be working on today for the next hour, is just prepping the canvases. So I will bring you in for a closer look of me doing this. Okay, well the first thing I need to do is get my good shirt off and get on a paint shirt. And I just have some of John's old work shirts that he no longer uses, and I'm just going to put one of them on. Right now I'm standing up. Pretty soon I'm going to be sitting down. Okay. Let's get this out just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so if I could afford to live in my own space, or well, I do live in my own space. If I could afford to live in a bigger space, I would have a home with a bedroom that was dedicated to just arts and crafts. So if I had a bigger space and I could afford my own home, I would have like a 3-bedroom house, and one room would be for me and one room would be for guests, and then the other room I would set up as an art room. And then in that art room I would have like one corner dedicated to just painting supplies and bigger easels. But when you live in a small apartment and you don't have that room, you have to think of how you can do this. And so this kitchen is double dutied. I don't know if I've shown you or not, but this cabinet under the coffee pot is dedicated to just art materials. And then the kitchen table becomes my art center. So I do have storage for art materials, but it's like I have to put them away and then get them back out, and I don't always like to do that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping some canvases. And these are not the best canvases you can buy. They're a little bit on the cheaper side, but I do this for fun. I am not a professional artist. I just do it for fun. And I had an art teacher one time that used to tell the students, and she would also tell me that, well, she would tell me as I was helping the students, that art is about the process, not necessarily about the product. As long as you're having fun doing the process and you're enjoying the process, then don't obsess about the product. You do the best you can, okay? And then just leave the rest, you know? And so I try to keep that in mind. Whenever I paint, whenever I draw, whenever I do any kind of art, I always try to remember her wise words that it's about the process. And I do enjoy painting. So even though it may not be professional, it gives me an out, and it gives me something relaxing to do during the winter, during my free time. All right, so let me get my paint here. Yeah, I have mostly white, so I think I'm going to prep with white. All right, and let me get the next thing I need for this. So I do have little palettes that you can put different paints in, you know, mix up your different paints. If I'm doing a single color and I'm doing a lot of it, then I won't use those. I'll just grab a paper plate. And the biggest brush I have. If there aren't any art teachers out there, don't judge me, okay? I have never claimed to be a professional painter, and this is not a how-to video. This is a Kim Does It video. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. I need more light in here. One of my lights burned out, so it's a little dark. Let's see if that backlight will go on. There, that helps. I kind of like to do my edges first. So when I was in elementary school, I used to get really good grades in art. And then when I was in high school and I took art, I took a couple of different art classes in high school and I got really good grades on them. So one year I was even chosen to be part of this art walk, and the art teacher would choose the top 3 students from each of his different art classes, and he would take them on a walk around Jefferson City, and they would pick a subject matter to draw, and then they would bring their drawings back and they were judged. It was part of a citywide art thing. And I remember being chosen to go on that art walk my junior and senior year. So I'm not a super good artist, but I guess I have enough art in my blood to make me okay. And then, so that was in high school. And then when I was in college, I had to take art for the elementary schools. And that's the only art class I had in college, was art for the elementary schools. And there we learned a little bit about painting, but mostly it was about simple activities that you could do with kids. Anyway, And then I watched some YouTube on it, like different painters on YouTube and different artists on YouTube. And I have checked into taking classes at the Hannibal LaGrange College. And they're really fairly reasonable priced, but I just don't have the money right now, and I don't have the time right now. So that's going to be something that's going to have to wait. Alright, so I have all 3 boards prepped. This is all I'm going to prep for now. And I'm going to let them dry, and then I've got to get everything picked up and put away before the grandkids get here. So, alright. I'll show you where I store my art stuff as I put it away. This is actually an art caddy that my brother got me one year for Christmas. It has pencils and erasers and certain painting materials in it. But then I have this extra icebox drawer, and since I wasn't using it, I put my paints in it, and it just slides in there perfectly. I don't know if you can see that or not, but just slides in there perfectly. And then the boards, I have some sketch pads here, and then the boards I just put right there. And then my thing of paintbrushes, these have not been used recently, so they're all clean, and they go in there like that. And then this here drawer has like scissors, paper cutter, glue. And this drawer is another drawer that has like markers, paper products, tape, scissors, that kind of stuff. All right. And then this easel is really nice because it can just be folded up and stored in the toy closet. And like I said, if I had a bigger home, I would have a room dedicated just to my art. But I don't, and I have to contend with what I have. You know, you make the best of the situation that you have. So my kitchen becomes my art room. And I don't always paint. Sometimes I'll do simple scrapbooking. The simple scrapbooking, I do have a few materials up here, so I'll work on them at this table. But mostly I paint, and then like I crochet, and I do art coloring books, and yeah. So anyway, that's it for my art for today. All right, let me finish getting cleaned up, and then we'll see what's next. Okay friends, so I have about a half hour before the grandkids get here, so I'm going to work on some puzzle. Now this puzzle has been here for a couple of years now. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle. It's of birds. It's a really neat puzzle. But last year I did not work on it at all. At all. because in the spring I had major knee surgery, and then my brother passed away, and then I was helping my sister get his house packed up and cleaned up and finalized so it could be sold. And then last summer we went on trips, and then last fall we went on trips, and life has just been busy, and I have not touched this puzzle since, I guess, the winter of 2022, because I didn't touch it at all last year. So anyway, and I also have, in case you're wondering what's under here, this is where I store my crocheting. So like, it's close to the chair and it's out of the way. It's about the only place I have to store. I used to have a recliner sitting here, and I would like to have a recliner back, but I don't need that big recliner really. So what I'd like to do is find 2 matching smaller recliners, but I haven't gotten there yet. Like I said, life's been busy. So anyway, what I did was I did put the puzzle table back here in this corner. A lot of times I will have it sitting out so that I can sit at the puzzle table and look out the window. But with the grandkids coming over, I have chosen to just leave it back here so that they have more space and it doesn't get knocked into. So anyway, I'm going to sit back here. I do have the window here, which gives me a lot of natural sunlight. And I do have these lights back here. So that I can see. And then these are the puzzle trays. These are the puzzle trays that I have here in town. See, there's like 1, 2, they look like a puzzle piece. And they're sorting trays. Let's see, I have 6 altogether. And I want to get me a set of these for the farm. Out at the homestead, I just use Tupperware bowls, but I would like to get a set of these. So right now though, I'm going to work with the pieces I already have pulled out. And this is what I will do until the grandkids get here. And then I'll show you a clip or 2 of the grandkids. I can't show a whole lot, but I'll show you a little bit. And then we'll see what I do this evening. All right, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you all tagging along and looking over my shoulder as I do things. I won't do a lot of these day in the lives. I hope to have more project type videos, but during the winter it's really hard to find a homesteading type project unless it's cooking. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like to watch a lot of cooking. I mean, if you're into that, that's great, but there's a lot of cooking channels out there. But I'm more into the gardening aspect of homesteading. The gardening and what you get out of the garden and the canning. So yeah, until we get to the gardening time of the year. I think this year I am going to be doing seedlings though. I'm going to plant some seeds and I can start them in the middle of March. Our frost date here in Missouri is May 15th. Although a lot of times I will start things around Mother's Day. I always think of Mother's Day weekend as my start time. I don't think we've ever had a frost after Mother's Day, but I do watch out for it because our official frost date's not until May 15th. Anyway, so that means that I can start seedlings, I can start seeds like 8 weeks before that. So the middle of March, I think I'm going to start some flower seeds. And so that they'll be ready to plant out then Mother's Day. I haven't been able to do that for the last 2 or 3 years because I haven't been at home during the spring. But I anticipate being home this spring where I can do that. I used to grow my own tomato plants. I think I even have a video on that from years ago. But the last 2 or 3 years, we've just gone and bought nursery plants to put into the boxes. So we'll see. I don't know what seeds yet I'm going to plant, but I know I'm going to plant seeds. And I've already talked to John about ordering new fruit trees, and he's agreed to that. So we've discussed what trees we want, and we'll be doing that this year too. So this year, as far as we know, this year's going to be kind of a more stay-at-home year, and that means I'll be able to do more projects. So if I keep talking, I'm not going to get any work done on this puzzle. So I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll be back. So.
And this is the tree. And this one is the batteries running low.
You might have to sit in my chair and plug in.
Grandma, is your leg sore anymore?
I still have problems with it.
Is it sore?
Don't you want to sit up in the chair? No, you're okay? Okay.
Grandma, why are these out? This is the train's place. There's water, but this is the water carrier of the train. And this is the train that pulls that stuff. And my train's just parking in the shed. Grandma, my train's parking in the shed.
It's parking in the train shed?
Yep, but you cannot. Grandma, you can only bring your train clothes in if you have long train.
Is that comfortable like that, Emma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meow.
Okay.
This is my first time playing with you. Meow cave. Meow. I mean. You want to be a cat? No, yeah, I want to be. Yes, biscuits.
Alright, kitchen crew. The first one to survive 10 rounds becomes the superhero. Dude, what? We gotta survive 10 rounds at that place?
10?
That's right. This is gonna be virtually impossible.
Well, if anyone can do it, it's gonna be the kitchen crew.
Alright, Banana Bill, you can trust us. Are you ready, kitchen crew?
Yeah!
Oh, I think everyone just showed up.
Hey, do you guys want any snacks? Jackson, you want a snack?
No.
You don't want cookies? I thought you said you wanted a cookie. Em, you don't want any kind of a snack, after school snack? Do you want anything to drink? I have orange juice, apple juice, water. Okay, I'll give you guys a few minutes.
What game are you playing?
If you change your mind, just let me know.
Emma, can we take turns playing that game?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's going on. What's the disaster? I'm going swimming, you guys. Who's joining me? Flash flood?
Jeffrey, you want any kind of a snack? Did you say you wanted popcorn? Okay. Do you want anything to drink? I have orange juice, apple juice, or water. Or a Gatorade. I have Gatorades
Let me
too.
pause it.
Okay.
I hardly heard.
Okay, I have. Do you want anything to drink? I have apple juice, orange juice, water, or I do have Gatorades.
Gator.
You want Gatorade? I don't know what flavors I have. I'll have to yell them out to you.
Okay.
Emma and Jackson, I also have Gatorades. Do you guys want a Gatorade?
Gatorade.
Do you want Gatorade?
Yeah.
Jackson, do you want a Gatorade?
I like Gatorade. But Grandma, one time we made Gatorade popsicles.
Did you really?
Gatorade popsicles.
Do you want to go pick out what kind you want?
Do we make Gatorade popsicles here?
Well, we wouldn't have time to do it here. Jeffrey, we have red or yellow. We do not have any more orange. Okay. Emma, we have red or yellow.
Red.
Okay. Jackson, red or yellow.
Because Jeffrey's having popcorn.
Jeffrey's having popcorn. Do you want some popcorn?
No, I want some candy.
Okay. All right, here you go, Em.
Why does it smell like more popcorn?
Because Emma and Jeffrey wanted popcorn. Do you want popcorn?
No.
No.
But I smell popcorn and I do not like it.
I like the smell of popcorn.
I do not like popcorn anymore. I hate popcorn.
Okay. Do you want a cookie?
I don't like cookies.
You don't want cookies either.
I don't like cookies.
Okay.
I hate cookies.
Okay, family and friends, so the grandkids have now left. They are headed home with Mom and Dad to have some supper and get ready for school tomorrow. And Grandma's going to need to do some picking up. They're usually really good about helping me pick up toys and materials and snacks and stuff, but I did not give them enough warning tonight. Mom and Dad showed up faster than I thought, and so we had to leave a few of the toys out for Grandma to do. But these grandkids of mine, they're really good about helping. And I will need to do some vacuuming later because we do have quite a bit of popcorn on the floor, but that's okay. And yeah. But I think Jeffrey got his Legos picked up. So, but yeah, so Jeffrey did get his Legos picked up. I just need to get them into the closet. And yeah, pick up a few of the snack stuff. But right now, I'm going to have some supper. Okay, so I've been sitting there debating about what I want for supper because I'm really just not that hungry. So tonight I'm going to go with some yogurt. A tub of yogurt, and can you guess? I bet Jody can guess. Okay, so did you guess what it was? Yes, I went with my yogurt and then I went with my peanut butter crackers. And the yogurt has 80 calories and 12 grams of protein. Of course, this is the Greek yogurt, okay, but I love the Greek yogurt. And then my peanut butter crackers, now they do have 200 calories for the 6 crackers, but they also have protein. 4 grams. So they do have 4 grams of protein. Whereas a hard-boiled egg has 6 grams of protein. So, you know, they're not quite as healthy as an egg, but, you know, not too far off for being a snack. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be my supper. And then later on, I always get the munchies, and I usually try to stick to, like, nuts, because I like nuts, and yet they're healthy. So, and I've had popcorn. That's one of the reasons I'm not very hungry, is because when the grandkids were here, they had popcorn and I was munching on some of their popcorn. So I'm not really super hungry tonight. All right, so this is supper. Let's go. And you know where I'm headed, right? Yep, that's right, to my recliner. All right, let me grab a spoon. The picking up I will do after I eat, probably right before bed. Okay, family and friends, so I'm going to eat my supper and I'm going to watch some TV, take a little break, and then afterwards I'm going to pick up the toys and get them put away, and then depending on how late it is, I might vacuum. Because I don't really like popcorn on the floor. And my grandkids have yet learned how to eat popcorn without getting it on the floor. But it's okay. It's something I will tolerate because I love my grandkids. But I don't like the popcorn. It kind of bothers my OCD. So I will probably have to vacuum. But I don't want to do it too late because my next door neighbor, she works at a convenience store. And if she has to do the early shift, then that means she has to get up super early to get into her job. And I don't want to be keeping her awake and I don't want to be keeping her awake with the vacuum cleaner. So I'm either going to vacuum before 8, or I'm not going to vacuum at all tonight and just save it for tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to call this it for this video. And I appreciate you being here with me on these DITLs, these day in the life videos. Right now, with it being winter, there's just not a whole lot going on. But, you know, I hope to present better content later on. But thank you for being here with me today. And if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about what's going on in my corner of the world, hit that subscribe button to Kim's Country Corner, and I will talk to you all later. Good night.